Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney Grayton. I'm a loctician and natural hair stylist. I also own this beautiful salon that I'm sitting in right now. And on my side of YouTube, you will find expert information on caring for your locks and other lifestyle content when I decide to sprinkle that on in there. But today it's going to be a very short video. I recently just had a no-show, unfortunately, so I got a little extra time to talk to you all real quick. I have a list of things that I've been wanting to talk about. So this is going to be another one of my short videos, straight to the point, talking about the difference between microlocs and sister locks. I get this question very often, and I guess it's not clarified enough online. So enjoy. So I'm going to put some pictures on the sides. This is microlocs and this is sister locks. This is microlocs and this is sister locks. And I want y'all to tell me, or just start to think about what differences you see upon looking at them, because they definitely look different. Yeah, so upon just looking at microlocs, you can tell that they are usually bigger than sister locks. Sister locks are typically very small. Microlocs also typically have a lot more texture in them, and sister locks are usually, they look like little strings. And for those people who get sister locks, like, that's what they want their hair to look like. I hope no one takes offense to that, but that's what they usually look like. They're very uniform and more of like a string, as opposed to microlocs, which typically are a little bit more fluffy and everything. The reason that sister locks are so skinny and small and more uniform is that they are interlocked from the very beginning and also from root to tip. You all have seen me do microlocs before on my channel, and for the most part they are twisted and then interlocked only at the root, whereas with sister locks you are interlocking the hair from the tip of the hair all the way up to here. So it already starts off looking like a very small braid almost if you really get close to hair that's been interlocked. It's kind of sort of like a mix between a braid and a twist if you look really close. So with microlocs, like I said, they're typically much bigger. There are different ways that you can do the grid. I have seen mostly like an actual grid, whereas I've also done like C-shape parting with microlocs as well. There's a sister locks organization that manages all of the regulations around sister locks and the people who are trained to do them. Of course, there are people who kind of like train themselves and stuff, but you're technically supposed to go through the sister locks organization, pay for their training, and then you'll have a sister lock certificate that I believe you also still have to kind of maintain and renew on a regular basis in order to remain in their database for people to go on and say, okay, this person has been trained specifically in sister locks. Because I haven't been trained, I can't tell you all the details of what that training looks like and how it's different as far as the interlocking from the microlocs. But I was trained with microlocs because I had no desire to get the sister lock certification and still don't. So any of the smaller locks that I do are microlocs. Even if they end up being as small as some sister locks, they're still microlocs because I'm not ever going to be interlocking from the tip all the way to the root. Typically microlocs take, I would say on average for me, around 6 to 8 hours. Probably for other people maybe a little longer, maybe up to 10 hours, whereas sister locks are notoriously known for taking days at a time. Again, because you are interlocking from root to tip, that's already going to take a long time, and then also the amount of them that you have on your head. Microlocs, I would say that the average person probably has around 200, 250 locks on their head, maybe 300, whereas sister locks is definitely pushing up to 500, 600 or more locks on their head. There are different sizes that you can do. I've seen bigger sister locks and all of that, but they still all have that very uniform, straight up and down look with not a whole lot of texture. The similarities between the two is that you can definitely style them similarly to loose hair, so a lot of people would do twist outs and curls and things like that. Because they're so small, they're able to be manipulated a lot easier, and also you can get a lot of definition when you're styling them. However, maybe sister locks might be a little easier to do, like curls and things like that. It's going to definitely hold the curl a lot more because they are much smaller. As the average number of sister locks typically range from about 400 to 800 locks. So there's never a point where I will be doing micro locks that are between 400 and 800 locks. That's just not something I would personally agree to. So micro locks are definitely usually much bigger than sister locks. ChatGPT is who I'm asking. Usually ranges from 150 to 300, which is what I pretty much said. I have 156, so some people would consider mine to be like on the bigger side of micro locks. So micro locks are usually much bigger than sister locks, like twice the size of what sister locks are on average. A lot of times the grid looks very similar with sister locks, especially if you have the certification. There's a very specific way that you do the grid based on the way that they teach. With micro locks, you pretty much have a lot more flexibility because you're not held to those particular regulations. Yeah, I think that's all. As far as the care, very similar. I have videos on here explaining how to care for both, or just how to care for locks in general, so I won't even go into that for the sake of keeping this video shorter. But yeah, that is my very quick, simple explanation of the difference between micro locks and sister locks. And if you have any questions or things that you want me to clarify further, I'll definitely be in the comments answering any questions that you may have. If you have any other rapid fire questions that I can answer in a short, quick format like this, I would love to present that information also. So talk to you all later. Bye.